Ooh, now this is an interesting one. Dating in Korea as a black man. See, I've been in Korea two times in the last couple of years. Was 2024 now. I was in Korea for about 5 weeks in 2022. I saw probably a total of three, four black people outside of the people I was working with. Like strangers, I saw like no black people, except for like one day it was like a military holiday, and then the whole street was black people. Threw me off. I didn't know what was going on. And then in 2023, I was there for about 3 weeks, and there's a lot more black people, a lot more people traveling now. I think people feel more safe. I think by the time I went, they just finished, or like they were wrapping up the quarantine rule in 2022. Many people weren't really traveling there yet. But dating in Korea as a black man, see, I wasn't dating out there. I was out there for work. So I want to see how it is to date when you're black.
Black man in Korea.
I would say
Shout out to this guy, though, K Explorer. I like his videos.
in the past, it was a lot more difficult, but nowadays, with hip hop
Oh,
being
yep.
like more popular, I think black guys have kind of been a bit on the come up.
Do you think the country you're from
Black
plays
guys
an
got
important role in the dating scene out here in Korea?
Yep,
The
good.
thing Nigerian guys have used women eyes to see in this country. She asked, "Oh, where you from?" And I told her I was Nigerian, and in 2 seconds she was out.
Oh.
And you think like there's a fetishization of black
Maybe-
men out here in
African Americans got it good. Well,
Korea?
I don't know, but their perspectives are different. Who knows?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where you from?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
And how long have you been in Korea?
On and off now, about 10 years, roughly.
Do
Whoa,
you have like any dating
10 years was
experience
crazy.
so far?
Oh, yeah. Depends how deep you want to go in this topic. But yeah, I got
Let's
some
get it.
experience.
So how has the dating experience been so far?
Overall, for the kind of person I am and, being such a lover of Korea, I've had mostly a positive experience.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
There's been a lot of growing pains along the way.
What is
Yeah, it's tough, bro. I remember when I was in Korea, 2022. It didn't really happen that much last year. The year before, all the little kids, like I'll get a lot of stares. You don't really, once you like brush it off, though, Korea's great. I don't think too much about it,
as a black man in Korea?
I would say in the past, it was a lot more difficult, but nowadays, with hip hop being like more popular and just kind of Korea getting a lot more exposure, I think black guys have kind of been a bit on the come up. If you're a foreigner, I always say your chances are just kind of 50-50 no matter what. You can have a positive experience dating even as a black man.
Do you think black men have been
Never know.
fetishized in Korea?
There's definitely some of that, but
Better
as a
shit, really?
foreigner, you're kind
Probably
of
not.
stand out here. So everyone's gonna kind of have some idea about you or a stereotype or fantasy, if you will. But I think that just comes with the nature of being different in a country.
What would you say are the stereotypes Koreans have of black men in the dating scene out here?
Well,
You better not say it, bro. Not the what you mean by classic one, bro?
we all know the classic one. By classic, you guys know what I'm talking about. Other than that, I think they do tend to expect black guys to be a lot more in shape. And
They think black people are in shape and got the hammer, huh? What's going on here?
maybe a lot more fit, or usually they're doing something cool either with music or dancing. You get a lot of that. I would say overall they are just trying to get to know you as a person.
Do you think where you're from, the country you're from, plays a major role like in the dating scene out here?
I think so because, or at least in the past, because Americans have always been kind of favored in Korea due to just kind of the relationship and the history. There was a time I feel like a lot of people from other countries, maybe some African countries or black people from some other alternative country, I feel like there was a time they were not seen as favorable, mostly due to
yeah.
like English and things because of just how comfortable Koreans get with English nowadays. But I would say overall, with everything becoming more worldly, I think it's good for you across the board as long as you're presentable and, come off cool,
Can you
Yeah,
share
English. There's a lot of people that speak pretty good English in Korea, actually.
like a memorable or challenging experience you've had as a black man dating out here in Korea?
The language barrier can be a big one if you're not a Korean speaker,
Yeah, you
which
gotta
in the
know some
beginning,
Korean,
I
though,
was
at
learning.
least.
Next, you kind of have to deal with just some minor cultural nuances, between
Nuances. Why
little
say nuances like that? Neon?
things like, for example, holding
Be
the
bright.
door open is kind of seen as a big deal back in the States, and that's cool here too. But just little things like that in a Korean way, you don't think about, like getting utensils and making sure you're giving it to the girl first. don't let the girl sit, on a normal chair. Make sure she gets the comfortable
gets the
couch.
booth.
Like these kind of little
Get
things,
the
like
nice
you kind of
spot.
just learn as you go. But some Korean girls think you're
What?
really rude if they're not, familiar with foreigners when you do this kind of stuff. So they're like, oh my God, he has like no manners. But, you
You got to do that in America too, though.
I'm Nigerian.
What?
Yeah.
And how long have you been in Korea?
I've been in Korea for about 10 years now.
Have you
Damn,
had a dating experience out
everybody's
here?
been out here for a decade. Where were you guys at when I was in there in 2022, bruh?
Yeah, I've been out on the streets. I've never really been on dates with Koreans because like I've been dating foreigners in Korea. So and I just started dating a Korean girl that she is really beautiful. So
So you just made mention that you really like haven't dated Koreans as much. Why is
Date
that?
foreigners.
nationality wasn't
Are
the
you
case
out
for
there?
me. Like if she's fine, if she matches the things that I want in a woman, that I just go for it.
And you just made mention.
It's
earlier
probably just easier, right? You just date another foreigner. I don't know. Or someone that just speaks English or whatever language you speak.
as well that you are currently, like seeing a Korean. Yeah. What's it like dating like a Korean woman?
Well, it's like the cultural difference is huge, because like the way I see things is different from the way she sees
Yeah.
things,
Korean
and the way I
culture's
would react to
crazy,
some
though.
things.
I
is
learn
quite
so much,
different
like,
from the
every
way
day.
she would react. Because like in my country, like there are a lot of things that we don't do because of the culture thing and the way people would see. But like coming over to Korea, it's more like a norm. So I think there was a bit difference in the way she saw things.
What are some misconceptions Korean women have of you?
They have this feeling that you have a huge weapon of mass destruction. So, but I get it.
What? What is this, bro? This is not real.
Because like
That's 2 for 2. Both of them said the same thing.
movies from the social media, like it influences the way they reason. So that's I don't see
Weapon
anything
of mass
Do you think
destruction
the country
is
you're from plays an
wild.
important role in the dating scene out here in Korea?
the teen Nigerian guys have used women eyes to see in this country. I recently talked to a girl. And we were having a good conversation, like it was chill. And then and she asked, "Oh, where you from?" And I told her I was Nigerian. And in 2 seconds, she was out. Like literally,
What?
like she just walked out. I'm not saying this for the camera, bro. Like for real, like this is what I get. Like not all the time, but like I've been in a situation where like she just walked out. People actually think
What?
Nigerians are this playboys. So like that's the first
Oh,
impression we get. Listen, good
Nigerians
Nigerian
are
guys
hoes. That's what he was going with. I thought it was some racist. Never mind. That's a good thing though, right? It's a better stereotype, I guess.
I'm from New York.
New York.
Long Island, to be specific. Yeah.
And how long have you been?
Don't
in
say
Korea?
10 years, bro.
1 year, 4 months.
Okay,
Have
there
you
we go.
been out on dates out here?
Yeah. Been out on a few. Yeah.
And how was your experience so far?
It's interesting. I have to remind myself that I'm in a different place and like culture's a little bit different, and it's not just like dating like Korean, like it's also foreigners from other places too. So things move a little bit different out here than it does at home, and I wouldn't say it's bad.
It's just
I
different.
wouldn't say it's been great. It's just been an
Dating anywhere is
adjustment,
different.
You know?
You made mention earlier on that like
Always.
things are a little bit different out here compared to like back home. How so? Can you elaborate like a little bit more on that?
I would say speed. Things move a bit fast out here. The time that you spend with somebody to kind of feel them out is kind of multiplied like 10 times faster.
One date, next day, hey, what are we? Where's the ring at? That'd be crazy. Hell nah.
It's like 3 dates, and then it's like, all right, we dating, or is this serious? Like, we
Yeah.
getting married? Nah, I wouldn't go that far. But yeah, at home it's a little bit more of like a courting phase, and a little bit more like just dating, just going out,
Yeah.
things like that. But
I will say America's slow. I'm part of the problem though.
it seems like there's like a
You just take it
number
nice and slow,
going
day
out
by
here.
day.
Do you think like the country you're from
Chill.
plays a major role in the dating scene out here?
A little bit. Where I'm from New York, like I get this like, ooh, like, oh God, New York. And I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, what's wrong with New York? And then some people are like hyped by it too. They're like, oh, New York. So then you got like the people that want to move back to New York with you, like, oh, when you going back? And then like, oh, I always wanted to live there and stuff. And it's just like, all right,
Yeah,
bro.
whenever I tell, at least the last time I was there, I would tell people I'm from Cali. Like, oh, California is so cool. Hollywood, blah, blah, blah. They like gas up Cali.
We're here right now, so probably does for sure.
And you think like there's a fetishization of black men out here in Korea?
Oh yeah, for sure. So for my first whole year out here, I had locks, and so
Oh,
I had
wow.
long hair, I had dreadlocks, and I felt like it
You
was
definitely
a
stood
thing
out.
for some women that they were just into that. So I was in the spot like, yo, if I cut my hair, am I gonna get the same attention? But it's like I didn't really care about that anymore. But yeah, definitely like a fetish sort of thing, you know. But it's like you just deal with it.
How did the cultural
what it
differences
is.
impact your dating experience out here in Korea?
I was dating a girl. Well, I wouldn't even say dating. We went out twice, and then one day she just popped up in my apartment. Like, she sent me a picture from inside my apartment when I'm at work, and I was like, "Oh, what?" Like, I was like,
I don't even think that's a Korean thing. I think she's crazy. He was fucking with the wrong one. Inside?
"How you even get my door code?" Like, I was stupid though,
Door
'cause
code?
I made my
That means
door-
she watched you put it in, she downloaded it, and waited for you to go to work? Oh, never mind. It says it's his
code my
birthday.
birthday. I changed it since then.
Oh,
But
he's stupid.
she found my
That's on
birthday
you.
somehow on my Instagram, and that was scary. So I was like, maybe I need to fall back a little bit from being too much on a dating scene.
Nah.
That was definitely a weird experience.
That was an outlier. She's just crazy, bro. That's
Have you noticed
What?
any stereotypes or misconceptions about black men in
Don't
the
say
dating
it,
scene
bro.
in Korea?
I get a lot like, "Are you gangster?"
Okay.
There's some inappropriate
That's fucked
ones
up.
that I probably, I don't want to mention on camera. You can use your imagination. Like I said, like I had locks before, so I would get like, "Oh, you look cool." Like, "Oh, you probably have a lot of girlfriends." And then you get the ones like, "Oh, are you military?" And I'm like,
Military.
Well, what's military? It's like, "Oh yeah, black military guys." Like, "Oh, they're bad." And I'm like, "What? Like what they do to you?" There's a lot. There's a
That's
lot.
wild. I've gotten asked if I was military actually when I was in Korea too. I think twice.
Where are you from?
I'm Nigerian.
So how long have you been in
I mean,
Korea?
the wild, like, there's not many black people there. And the ones that are there are usually military. So, like, nah, I don't take offense, you know?
I've been in Korea for about 2 years.
Have you gone on dates out here?
Oh yes, I have. My last relationship ended about 4
He was
or 5
Nigerian too,
months
right?
ago,
I was,
so,
like, low-key
yeah,
not paying
I've been,
attention.
quite on a couple of dates.
How has the dating experience been so far, like in general?
I would say it's mostly positive. If you speak the language, it's definitely like
Yeah,
a
you gotta
plus
speak. You gotta
because
speak the language.
for most of the Korean ladies, especially like the ones that are like not that confident like speaking English, you know, when you throw Korean to them, no matter how bad it is, they just
Oh,
get
he's trying.
very comfortable with you like right out the spot. But then like when you just happen to speak English with zero Korean, then it might probably like be a little bit of a problem because like you guys wouldn't be able to like communicate effectively, and you know they might also be a little bit shy, you know, trying to talk to
Communication
you
is key.
and you know trying as much as possible not to make mistakes, you know, while talking and all of that.
Would you say, you know, like where you're from plays a role in the dating scene out here for you?
Well, I wouldn't really say so actually, because for most of the people I've been meeting, you know, right there and then from the very beginning, like I just tell them where I'm from, and the fact that I speak Korean, I think actually covers a lot of negatives for me. So
Pretty OP.
I think irrespective of where you're from, like as long as you speak the language and they find you attractive, yeah, I think that is all that matters.
Are there any stereotypes Korean women have of you as a black man?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there are like a bunch of stereotypes. I mean, definitely like sexually, but then also, you know, when
Where-
they
Where are they getting this from? Because I think the last guy insinuated it too. But if all four of them are saying it, why do people in Korea all like what? What media are they watching? That like what?
just see me and they're like, oh, black man, oh, strong, you know, that kind of thing. I think that is, you know, pretty much the stereotype.
What are the
Like the
cultural
strong black people, like probably from sports. But like, where's the hammer come from?
differences you've experienced while dating
Because they can't watch porn out there, you know? Like, where are they getting it from?
as a black
Oh,
man
no.
here in Korea?
Oh yeah, the cultural differences. When it comes to like general culture, actually, there's a little bit of similarity between Nigerian and the Korean culture, and I'm talking about like traditional
That's cool.
wise.
I don't
But
know
then when
Nigerian
it comes
culture,
to like
obviously.
the dating culture, like there's a lot of differences because, for example, like when I first came to Korea and I had like my first relationship ever, I was really surprised at the speed because I wasn't
Speed.
expecting that at all.
That's
I mean,
2 for
back
2
at
on
home,
speed.
Like, you've got to like be friends first, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe, like hang out for like couple months and
Yep.
you know, and probably get friend zoned or you know maybe like take it to the next level after like 6 months. But then in Korea it was like very quick because I mean
Wonder
it was
why.
pretty much
I think
under,
Japan's
like
like
a
that too.
month, like maybe like about 2 or 3 weeks, and I was like, oh, Oh, I was so shocked. I
Nah.
was like, is this how it runs here? You know, at first I felt like, am I like just lucky, or is it just like that? Like, in
Am I
Korea?
lucky if she
But then
fucking
I
with
think,
me that much? Like, nah, culture. That's just their speed, man. That's
like over time,
crazy.
I
I wouldn't
slowly
be able
got
to do
to
that.
understand. You know,
Nah,
while
too slow.
communicating with other
I'm
Koreans,
slow.
that it's pretty much like
Slow and
that's
steady.
way, yeah, like after like 2 or 3 dates,
What's it like, just dating a Korean woman in general?
they're pretty nice and also like very caring. Except like maybe the communication part, because my very first relationship, like it was all like, what are you doing? Like, "Opa, 지금 뭐해? 왜 대답하려 안 줘서?" Like I'm like, "Go, like you just texted me about like 10 or 15 minutes ago." Like, I mean, I'm also like having
I'm a
busy
slow
life, right?
texter.
So I mean, so that part of the communication was
I
actually
mean,
like a really big turn off for
that
me.
might just be that might just be the girl he was talking to, though. You know, but that's wild. The speed being that intense and the stereotypes they got, good or bad. But what if we don't live up to the stereotype? FF makes us look bad, bruh.